what was your business like? What was the dynamic? How did you go out and grow your business? Was it instant success? Was it failures? Kind of walk me through that journey, up until maybe the point of you making that decision to make the move and go into management.
Um, so Shannon, Shannon, well, let me back up a little bit. So I started working for her and doing the assistant stuff, and then I got my real estate license. And I remember I said I like to beat to the sound of my own drum, and I, thought I had learned everything and knew everything. And I told her I was like, I'm going out on my own. And there was when I first got licensed, there was a brief time where I actually didn't go to HER. I was at KWXL for like maybe a week. And we won't dive into that too much. Nothing bad to say there. I just, Shannon was like, you need to get back over here. And I got over there and I was like, okay, I'm coming, but I'm not going to be on your team. I'm doing my solo thing. And I went out, and my first year in the business, I sold 2 homes. And I mean, I worked like a dog. I ran around like a chicken with my head cut off. You know that meme of Jim Carrey sticking his head out of the back of the limousine, and like if somebody was talking about real estate, they're like,
Yeah.
that was me, man. If you even had a dream about real estate last night, I was knocking on your door like, yo, what's up? Like, I would, there's this one day where I remember I showed a house in London, Ohio, Washington Courthouse, Mount Vernon, and Pataskala. And all to 3 different buyers, and none of them wrote an offer. I mean, it was like 300 miles in a day, and none of them wrote an offer. And they were kicking tires, but I didn't care, man. I was just hungry. And Shannon, all the time, this whole time, she's sitting back watching me and just letting me, she's just sitting there twiddling her thumbs, watching me and letting me do my thing. And sort of giggling about it. And then I finally went to her and I was like, I don't get it. Like, what am I doing wrong? And she's like, let's do this together. Like, let's start a team. And she took me under her wing and she was like, you're running around like a chicken with your head cut off. Like, you need to focus on one thing. And this is what I really try to hammer home with my agents is like, don't try to be the superhero rock star real estate agent that you see on Instagram. Like, it takes a long time to become that person. It takes a really long time. Some people get it quicker than others, but to really gain rock star status, making several $100,000 a year, even to $1 million a year selling real estate, doesn't happen overnight. So she was like, focus on one thing. And I stopped trying to do, downsizing and upsizing and, whatever. I focused on first-time home buyers, and I started doing first-time home buyer seminars. I was sending mailers to apartment complexes. I mean, this was back in 2014, 2015. Right when Facebook ad spend was becoming a big thing. And before it was the Wild West of Facebook ad spend, when you could target like a 2-block radius on Facebook, like before they got hit by the fair housing, or the HUD and urban housing department by the federal government. But I mean, I was cranking, man. I think my second year in the business, I did 36 transactions, and she helped me hone that in. Like, she was doing, I think, Boomtown and Bold Leads and all these different things that she had coming in, some Zillow stuff and lots of lead gen stuff. And then, at the same time, I have this big community of people that I'm involved with in the recovery community. A lot of people know this. There's a charity foundation, 501c3, that I'm heavily involved with, Compassion Outreach Ministries of Ohio. So like, I'm very involved in the recovery community and giving back to that community. And I think a lot of my friends, like hundreds of friends in that community, realized, oh, this guy is serious. It's not just another one of Aaron's hobbies. And they started to take me serious. And I'm seeing these people put their lives back together, and then they get married, and then they have a kid. And what's next? They buy a house. So it was kind of like this perfect marriage in the millennial time frame. I was like, 30 years old at the time, and everybody was getting married and having kids and buying houses. So the first time home buyer thing, this was back when you could get somebody with OFA and all that stuff, offers accepted, FHA, OFA stuff, like, and I did very well, very, very well. And that was, and Shannon and I started this team together, and we learned everything about team building, like hiring and firing and what works and what doesn't work. And it was great. Like I credit Shannon for so much more than I think she knows. Like she molded who I am. Like I think it's very similar with you and Ryan. I've seen you two interact, in public, and I can tell that there's that mutual respect for each other. And it's the same with me and Shannon. Like I have an immense amount of respect for her and what she's done for me in this industry, because I honestly, she had nothing to do with my trajectory of management, but she has everything to do with who I am and how I learned what I do.
Yeah. I hope the listeners, caught that. Year one, no direction, no clarity, no understanding of how to go out and attract people and build business, and did 2 deals. And then
Mhm.
year 2, really found a mentor. And those that have listened to me, I believe in 3 things. I believe everyone should have a mentor and a coach. I believe everyone should have a peer, someone that's on the same journey as them, to get through the lows and the high, celebrate the highs. And I believe everyone can coach someone to get where they're currently at. And I bring that up because that mentor, that person that you need, is going to help you with the clarity pieces, and that's what you got, right? You know this, I know this. Other, individual agents succeeding at a higher level, or teams succeeding at a high level, they don't try to do everything.
Mhm.
They do what they're great at, and usually that is 2 to 3 things, maybe 4 things max, right?
Yep.
They're not out crushing it on all cylinders and in all areas of real estate, because, you know, there are teams out there that are, and those are the teams that are probably selling 1,000 plus homes, a year.
Mhm.
But the reality is you only need to be great at 2 to 3 things, and you're going to have the success. And I hope you guys caught that. And that
Yeah.
right there is the beauty of real estate, because what you put into is what you're going to get out. 36 deals by the end of year 2. Like, that's possible.
Mhm.
Like, it's possible. You just need some direction, some clarity, and to hone that work ethic with it. So,